Peace and blessings, loyal family. Peace and blessings to the loyal family. Right? I'm coming at you with a video today to give you information, to give you an epistle, to give you very, very important information that you guys need to know. Because I watch y'all, man. I watch y'all YouTube channel, right? But there's things that you guys must know, right? So to get to started with, man, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, whether with the blacks, whether you're African American, Jamaican or West Indian or a Haitian, with the Hispanics, whether you're a Puerto Rican, Dominican, Mexican, Brazilian, any of those things of the nature of the so-called Hispanics and the Native American Indians and Seminole Indians, those groups that I just named, we are the Israelites according to the Bible. We are God's chosen people. Now I know what you're thinking. Aren't we all God's chosen people? Right? Because do you guys believe in the Bible? Do you believe in the true living God? Right? Let's see what the true living God says. Let's go to Joel chapter 2 and verse 27. Cause me, I'm not gonna speak my own words. I'm gonna show you what the Most High God said. Right? This is the book of Joel, chapter 2, and verse 27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel. Right? The Most High God said, guess what? I'm in the midst of Israel. Who's the Israelites? The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We are the Israelites according to the Bible. And that's why I'm here to tell y'all. Right? The Most High God put it on my spirit to make this video to let y'all know. Right? You are the Israelites. We are Israel. I'm going to read it again. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God, and none else. And my people shall never be ashamed. The Most High God said, guess what? I'm only dealing with the Israelites. I'm your God, and I'm nobody else's God but yours. He said, my people. What's my people? A possessive pronoun. He said, my people shall never be ashamed. I'm going to get one more verse. Let's go to Psalms chapter 147 and verse 19. And the reason why, again, I'm making this video is to give you guys information to share the gospel with you, which I'm literally sharing with you right now. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 147 and verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, right? And guess what? Jacob is our forefather. We come from the seed line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Jacob's name got changed to Israel when you read Genesis 32 and 28 and Genesis 35 and 10. He says he showed his word to Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He said, I showed his Bible, my word unto Jacob, the Israelites, and the statutes, laws, and judgments to Israel. Let's see what verse 20 says. He hath not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. The Lord said, guess what? This Bible, I only gave it to my people, the Israelites, right? So now, to begin, man, right, to show you that you are Israelite according to the Bible. Right, first and foremost, look at our communities today. Look at the community of the black and Hispanic people. We're living in the same ghettos. We're getting oppressed by the police, getting killed, thrown in jail. We're getting dealt unlawfully and unjustly as a nation of people. Right? We have the most high abortion rates, killing our children. Our people are killing each other, having an evil eye towards each other. There's a reason why for that. But we're going to get to that. But first, I'm going to show you two curses in the Bible to show you that we are the Israelites. Right? I'm going to get Deuteronomy 28, and I'm going to start at verse 45. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God. So the Lord said all these curses that's going to come upon you as a nation of people is because you did not listen to the voice of the Lord your God. It says to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. So he said these curses that I'm about to read to y'all, they came upon the Israelites because they did not hearken to my voice, nor did they keep my laws, statutes, and commandments that I commanded them to keep. Right? It says, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So these two curses I'm going to read to y'all, they're going to show you, they're going to be a sign to show you who the Israelites are today on earth. Because when you remember, when you read this Bible is the book of the Israelites. And people, when they read this Bible, they think that the Israelites were done and away with and God casted them off, when that was never the case. Right? And we're going to get that verse real quick just to show y'all. Because God still has a chosen people on earth today. This is the book of Romans, chapter 11 and verse 1. I say then, hath God cast away his people? So he's asking a question. He said, did God cast away his people? Did God cast away the Israelites? Let's see what he says. God forbid. Meaning, guess what? No. God did not cast away the Israelites, right? Let's read on. For I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. See that? And that's the Apostle Paul speaking. Paul himself, he knew who he was. He said, I'm also an Israelite. And guess what? I'm an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. And the tribe of the Benjamin is the tribe of the so-called Jamaicans or West Indians, as they call it. So Paul was a so-called Jamaican man walking on the earth. But nonetheless, that's not our true nationality. These proverbs and bywords, which I'm going to be reading in the Bible, we got from the so-called white man and the Spaniards, who are also so-called white men in slavery. Right? So let's go back to the curses. So remember, these two curses I'm going to read to y'all is going to show you who God's chosen people are. Who are they on the earth? Because guess what? God still has a chosen people on the earth. So I'm going to go to verse 16. And it says, cursed shall thou be in the city. Right? He said the Israelites, since they broke my commandments, they're going to be cursed in the cities. What nation of people are cursed in the cities? They living in the ghettos, the projects, the trenches, right? The hoods, right? They hating each other, killing each other. They getting oppressed as a people. They're poor. They're strung out on drugs, dope, crack, heroin in the streets. And they're homeless. They have nowhere to stay. Right? They're bugged out and they have many demons on. What nation of people, a majority of people are cursing these cities? The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We're cursed in the same cities and the same streets. Right? I'm going to read on. It says, and cursed shall thou be in the field. Meaning what? You're going to be cursing cotton fields, tobacco fields, sugarcane fields, even in the caves digging for gold. And that happened with who? The so-called blacks, the so-called Hispanics, and Native American Indians. We had to do these things during slavery. So who does that curse fit as a nation of people? What curse is that talking about? That's talking about us. That fits us, right? Let me get you another curse. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read y'all three. So let's get two more, right? I'm gonna get Deuteronomy 28 and 48. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst. The Lord said, guess what? You're now going to be serving your enemies. You're going to be serving your oppressors for hunger. Whether you're hungry, you want some food or something to drink. Who owns all the supermarkets and everything? Who owns all these places? If you're hungry, who do you have to go to? The so-called white man, or the so-called Chinese man, or the so-called East Indian man, or the so-called Arab man, right? These are nations that's above us right now, and they are our enemies and our oppressors that we're serving right now, right? The Lord said, and in nakedness, right? What the clothes that you have on your back, you truly don't own these clothes. You had to go to a store to buy them, right? I'm gonna read on. It says, and in want of all things. He said, guess what? You're gonna be serving them even in the want of all things. So if you want a house to live in or apartment, you want a driver's license, you want a car, guess what? You're gonna have to serve your enemies for that. Right? Let's read on. Let's see what this part says right here. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Whoa, whoa, why am I reading that in the Bible? He said this man, he's going to put a yoke of iron on your neck. I want y'all to go look on Google right now and type in yoke of iron. First thing that's going to pop up is a so-called black man or a Native American man or a Hispanic man with chains and yokes of iron on their necks. So who does that curse fit as a nation of people? Us, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, because we went through the same thing. The Native American Indians in 1492, the so-called Hispanics in 1500, and the so-called blacks in 1619. Right? Now let's get one more curse. This might even blow your mind. Right? This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. Right? Now, what was the Israelites doing in Egypt? If you ever read the Bible, what was the Israelites doing in Egypt? Why did Moses have to go tell Pharaoh to let my people go? Why? Let's find that out. Right? Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 5 and verse 6. Right? This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 5 and verse 6. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. Right? So the Most High God in that curse in Deuteronomy 28:68, he's talking a slang talk. He's using a similitude because Egypt means slavery. Right? The house of bondage, that means slavery. Another word for bondage is what? Slavery or captivity. That's why Moses had to tell Pharaoh to let my people go. Why? Because the Israelites was in slavery back in Egypt. So let's go back to Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Right? This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again, meaning what? Slavery again. Right? So when you actually read that verse, that's actually talking about going into another slavery. Because when you read about the history of the Israelites, they never went back into the actual land of Egypt. So I'm going to read it from the top again. It says, and the Lord shall bring thee into slavery again with ships. What nation of people went into slavery on slave ships? I'll wait. Guess what? The so-called blacks coming over here to America, the so-called Hispanics and so-called Native American Indians going down to Spain and Portugal on slave ships. So who does this curse fit? Who went into slavery on slave ships? We did, man. Right? I'm going to read on. It says, and by the way whereof I spake unto thee, he said, guess what? However I tell you, that's how it's going to happen. Let's read on. It says, thou shalt see it no more again. Meaning what? You're not going to see your homeland again. You're going to get taken from your homeland and you're going to go into slavery on slave ships into another land. It says, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen, which is slave men, and bondwomen, slave women. And no man shall buy you, meaning nobody's going to redeem you. So what? Didn't we get sold right after we got off the slave ships on the auction blocks and plantations? So who does this curse fit right here? That fits us as a nation of people. So now let's go back to verse 46. Let's read verse 46 again. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So remember, those three curses that I read to you were going to be a sign to show you who God's chosen people are today. Now remember, this is God giving a prophecy to Moses to tell to the children of Israel, right? He told the Israelites that these things was going to happen to them. But remember, when I read these curses, it actually happened to our people. So who must we actually truly be? What's our true nationality? Israelites. Israel. Right? Let's get this real quick in Deuteronomy 29 and 1. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 29 and verse 1. These are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel. You see that? These are the words and the covenant that the Most High commanded Moses to make with who? The children of Israel. Who was in the wilderness with Moses? The Israelites. He told them that they was going to go through these curses if they break God's commandments. Right? And who did that happen to? When we read these curses, it happened to us. So that will make us what? Israelites. That's your true nationality. Shane, Liana, the whole family, man. And even the friends, man. Rob, all of y'all. All of the loyal family, for y'all so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, that's not your true nationality. Y'all are God's chosen people. We are Israelites according to the Bible. This Bible right here has nothing to do with religion or Christianity or white Jesus. This is a heritage and a history of a people. I'm going to get this at Amos chapter 3 and verse 1. So now I'm going to ask you a question again. Why, as a nation of people, are we going through slavery and oppression right now? Why are we the ones who's catching hell every day? Why? I'm going to show you why. Because he told you why, which I already read, but we're going to show you again. This is the book of Amos. We're going to get Amos chapter 3 and verse 10. This is the book of Amos chapter 3 and verse 1, I meant. Sorry. This is the book of Amos chapter 3 and verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel. See that he's speaking to us. He's not speaking to everybody. He said, guess what? Hear these words, you children of Israel. It says, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. He said, guess what? The Israelites, those are the only people that I know of all the families of the earth. Every nation I ever created, the Israelites are my people. Those are the ones I only know. Let's read on. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities. You see that? So I'm gonna give you an example with the father, right? Let's say you're a father, right? And matter of fact, I'm gonna use y'all an example. Shane, Liana, what if your daughter was to ask you, can she go plays outside with the other kids, right? Whether that's London or Scarlett, right? They ask to go play outside with other kids, but you tell them you can, but be home before the street light comes on, right? But guess what? They actually end up coming home later. They come home at 12 o'clock in the morning. And you're sitting there waiting for her to come home. She now comes home. And you already told her come home before the street light comes on. What are you going to do with that child? You're going to punish her. You're going to put her on some type of punishment. Right? Now think about it. Are you going to punish her along with all the other kids that she was playing with? Or are you going to punish your child? You're going to punish your own child. Why? Because she's yours and she's your responsibility. That's the same thing with the Most High God. He created the Israelites to be his chosen people. So therefore, every action that we do that's breaking his laws, he's going to punish us. That's the reason why that happened to George Floyd, Trayvon Martin, Oscar Grant, Junior, right? Junior, the so-called Hispanic who got beat and killed by a gang. These are why these things happen. Why we get shot down by the police for no reason, because we're breaking God's laws. That's why we went into slavery. That's why we are in the conditions we are today, because of breaking God's laws, statutes, and commandments. And as long as we keep breaking them, the more we're just going to keep staying in this captivity. So we must wake up to who we are. Right? And again, I'm going to say it again. This Bible has nothing to do with religion at all. Religion is man-made and is of Satan. This Bible has nothing to do with religion. Because I bet you nobody can show me in this Bible where God ever gave a religion to any of the prophets. I'm going to show you what this Bible is. Right? Now, I'm going to go to this verse. Now, I don't know if you ever heard of the Apocrypha, but the Apocrypha is of the Bible. This is the Bible. This is known as the hidden books. It's 14 hidden books that the so-called white man took out because it's a lot of history of what they did on our people. And even how white Jesus would come about. Right? So I'm going to go on this, look this up. I'm going to go to the book of Sirach, or is known as Ecclesiastic Gifts. Right? I'm going to go to chapter 24 and verse 23. Right? This is the book of Sirach, chapter 24 and verse 23. All these things are the book of the covenant of the Most High God, even the law which Moses commanded for an heritage unto the congregations of Jacob. This is what this whole Bible is about. This Bible isn't about religion. Remember, I just read it. This Bible is our heritage. What is a heritage? A culture. This is the covenant that we made with the Most High God. This Bible is the book of the heritage and covenant of the Israelites. And who are the Israelites? Us, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's what we need to know as a people. We've been lied to for so many years. We've been lied to ever since we came over to this land with so many philosophies and doctrines. Y'all must know who y'all are. The whole family. Because y'all have a whole family. But y'all must know who y'all are. Because guess what? For you men in the loyal family, y'all kings on this earth. Y'all Israelites. Y'all God's chosen people. Y'all should be sitting on thrones right now with crowns on your head, wearing a garment, judging the people in righteousness. And for you women, you are princesses on this earth. You're supposed to be teaching your young woman to be sober. And I know y'all do. Because y'all not bad at all. I like how the way y'all move and love your kids and be positive about that. But guess what? We must come back to who we are. We are the Israelites according to the Bible. This Bible is our heritage. And what must we do? We must keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments that he commanded us. And I'm going to get that real quick. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 17. Ye shall diligently keep the commandments of the Lord your God and his testimonies and his statutes which he hath commanded thee. That's what the Lord commanded us to do. And guess what? We must do that. God is a black man. Christ is a black man. The angels are black men. But that's going to be for another video. And if y'all have any questions, let me know. So repent and keep God's commandments, loyal family. Love y'all.